I'm now going to show you how to use the Jing tools to annotate the screenshots that you take. I'm going to select a couple pictures that I'm going to annotate. These pictures are the picture to the right here is the original picture, and the picture to the left is the very same picture, but I changed the size of the fish, and I also made this picture mostly black and white. But I'm just going to add some annotations to it. To use the Jing tools, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to roll over the sun, and I'm going to capture. In the last video we showed you how to capture a screenshot, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to left click and drag over the area of the screen that I want to capture. I've done that, and I'm going to capture the image. Remember, once you capture the image, it's going to bring that image up into a different window. Once you bring that image up, once it brings that image up, you're going to get the Jing tools over here to the left hand side. I'm going to go ahead and explain these tools to you now. The arrow tool, it allows you to add an arrow to any part of your screenshot. The next tool is your text tool. This allows you to add a text box to any part of your screenshot. The next is your frame tool. Your frame tool allows you to put a frame around any part of your screenshot. You can put it around your whole screenshot, or you can put it around just parts to maybe highlight an area. The next tool is your highlight tool. Your highlight tool allows you to highlight either words or the frame, part of the frame that you've taken. Underneath the highlight tool is your tool color. This allows you to change the color of your arrows, your text, your frames, and also your highlight. Underneath the tool color, the color tool, are two arrows, these two here. The one to the left allows you to undo what you have done. The one to the right, allows you to redo what you have done. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name, and we showed you how to change the name in the last video. All you do is select the material. I'm going to clear it out by backspacing, and I'm going to type in my new name, and let's call this screenshot Big Fish. Yeah, and let's go ahead and start making some annotations. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a text box, and from here all I'm going to do is left click where I want to create my text box, and I'm going to hold down that left button, and I'm going to drag it as big as I would like on the area. On top of my text box, it allows me to change my font. It gives me a pull down menu, and I can change my font into a number of fonts. I'm going to keep it as Rockwell, and I'm going to type my text. The picture is the same, but the fish grew. And from here, I'm allowed to change the size of my text. This button here is a font decrease button. Every time that I click it, I left click it, the font gets smaller, and I definitely don't want the font that small, so I'm going to make the font bigger by clicking the font increase button. Now, over to the right of that is a green square. This square, if I left click it, it gives me a total of 9 colors, and it also gives me a customization button. This allows me to change the color of my font. I can go here and I can change the color of my font to a blue color, which I'm going to leave it. I can also change the size of my text box by clicking one of the squares and just dragging the box to the size that I want to create it. I can also move my text box by clicking part of the frame and dragging it wherever I may like. But I'm going to leave it there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create an arrow on my screenshot. I'm going to go up to the arrow tool. I'm going to left click it, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to left click again where I want to start my arrow, and I'm going to drag it to where I want to stop my arrow. And I'm going to make another arrow, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start, I'm going to click it and hold where I want it to start, and I'm going to drag it to where I want my arrow to stop. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a frame on your screenshot. Here I'm going to create a frame around the left picture. You'll notice that the frame does not block out the picture, it just creates that frame around the area I want to highlight. To change the color of this frame, all I'm going to do is go over to the tool color, and I can change the color of the frame by just clicking on a different color. I can also do that with the arrows. If I wanted to change the color of my arrows, I go back over to the tool color, the color tool, and I can change my arrows to purple. But I'm going to leave this arrow blue. I'm going to change the color of my frame. I'm going to select my frame again. I'll change the color of my frame to a green. Here, I'm going to add another text box. And on this text box, again, I'm going to show you, you just left click where you want to start the text box and drag it as big as you may like. And this one doesn't have to be big. And I'm going to type in this one, someone made this photo black and white. And I obviously don't need my text box to be this big, so I'm going to make the text box smaller. And since my green frame around this picture is green, I want to make the frame around my text box green as well. So I'm going to highlight my text box frame, and I'm going to roll over to the color tool, and I'm just going to click the green. There we go. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the fish. This fish is obviously bigger, and I'm just going to highlight it. Now, if you can see here, I didn't get all of the fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the highlight. All I had to do is click the square and hold it and make the size of the highlight bigger. That is how to use the annotation tools, the Jing tools to annotate with. If I didn't like the color, or if I didn't like the size of the highlight, I can always go back and delete it by pressing the undo. But if I want to leave that highlight, I just click redo. And that is how to use the annotation tools. To save this, I'm going to click save the same way I did in my last one. I'm just going to left click save, and I'm going to save this to my desktop. It comes up with a different save capture window. I already have a file name for it, and I'm going to save. Once I saved, it comes over and gives me another window that says my capture has been saved and the file path is ready to be pasted. And that is how to use the Jing tools to annotate screenshots.